Rob is a fabulous Didsbury cat, as you can all see. And Rob, I just want you to tell us really what you do apart from being a cat.
Well, I'm a professor of politics at the University of Manchester. I've been working there since 2007, and I research elections and public opinion. I wrote a book about UKIP, but that doesn't mean I'm a UKIP fan.
Thank goodness! I did email him before to say, no, UKIP.
No, I studied it from the outside rather than being sympathetic to their positions. I also have worked since 2005 on the BBC's Election Institute. Every year I go down to London and have the BBC analyse locally, nationally, devolved European election results. And those shows you see on the TV with the exit poll and the overnight stuff and graphics and all that sort of thing. Well, I sort of help to generate that stuff on that TV.
Brilliant. I think whenever I've seen you, apart from school, that has been a reason. Commenting on is that sort of a lot of what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I do a fair amount of media stuff. Obviously, like the last few years have been pretty interesting in British politics. So I think, and of course the BBC, a big chunk of it up here in the Northwest. So I do get asked a fair number of times to do stuff on the radio and stuff on the TV. During election campaigns, I write a column Observer. Don't go back to the ones you see because basically wrong.
Well, I was going to come to that.
So yeah, I mean, it's part of the job that I really enjoy. It's a fascinating time to be trying to make sense of politics. We claim to have succeeded with the time, but it's great to be paid to do what you love. And frankly, I was born in a parent who talked about politics when I was at primary school.
Oh, good.
I'm quite lucky to now be paid to call other people.
And so what's been your steps to come to where you are now? So did you do a politics degree, just some of the basics really for our younger listeners?
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't do politics A-levels, or even politics BCC. My family are all doctors, so they will basically say to me, I've got doctor in my name, I'm not a real doctor, there wouldn't be any use. On one person's flights, if there was a heart attack, and they don't want to lecture on the 2017 election result. So I did all hard sciences because I was originally going back to medical school, but then I took a gap year and decided that the fact that, for example, the sight of blood is not fun, a sign that medicine is not really for me. So I did a politics degree instead, and then just carried on doing politics degrees until I ran out of politics degrees to do, and then started teaching instead.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to have to ask you about Brexit, Theresa May, and all those things. You don't have to show your own. But can we just go back to Brexit? What the hell happened?
Yeah, I got that question a lot on my Facebook feed the week after. It was like, screeching tires and car crash. Actually, I just finished up writing a book on about a year before that. What was really interesting is what I was finding in terms of what happened with UK. Really kind of presaged what happened with Brexit. So traditionally, this country's politics has been about class, working class versus middle class, but increasingly it's about education and it's about values. So it's becoming about graduates versus people who leave school at 16. Graduates have ever-expanding opportunities. Those who leave school early, the opportunities are contracting, the wages are contracting, and it's also reflected in values. University graduates, people like people of South East tend to be very outward-looking very expansive. People who leave school early often, I believe the statistic is something like 60% of school leavers spend their whole lives within 5 miles of where they were born. And so they tend to be very rooted in particular communities and therefore very anxious about change. And this is what produced the dynamic that we saw in Brexit, because the EU came to symbolise all the things that the open, outward-looking people saw as the future, and all the things that the rooted communitarian type people saw as threatening. And the vote really, look at it on education, on identity, on social values, it lines up on all of those things. It was the same with UKIP. UKIP was drawing its support from these people. I'll call them the left behind. It was people who hadn't seen any improvement in their circumstances for 20 years or more, from places where the industry had disappeared in the 80s and nothing had replaced it, where neither of the political parties have been able to deliver any meaningful improvement in their lives. And for a lot of those people, Brexit was an opportunity to basically smash things up again. To basically say to the people who told them over and over again things will get better. No, we're not going to do what you tell us to do. We're going to do the other thing. And even if it doesn't work out, at least it gives us the feeling that we have some power for once, and we get to run the show. And I said at the time, after the vote came, all of the people on my Facebook feed who were saying, why have our lives been turned upside down by people who don't understand, who don't share our values? I said, welcome to the nuclear versus mindset, because that's what they've been telling me for 3 years. Now they've done it to you, just like they feel you've been doing it to them for decades.
So that's actually what parallels with Trump.
Yes.
The Trump.
Yes, absolutely.
And what was your take? I mean, did you predict that?
No. Terrible. Look at what I predicted and just bet on the opposite. I didn't predict Brexit, I didn't predict Trump, I didn't predict the surge for Labour in the recent election, I didn't predict Tory majority. Terrible. I'm really, I should probably be in the dog view on the basis of prediction.
That's not unusual.
Of course, it's as complicated as an excuse. But yeah, Trump was very similar, and the reason I didn't think Trump would win is that I didn't think that electorate was big enough in the US, but it was exactly the same kind of electorate. I was lecturing on elections when the Trump vote happened, and my students were really genuinely upset about the election of Trump. This came sort of 3 months after Brexit. If you're a 19-year-old in Manchester, this is like a really big 1-2 punch against everything you were expecting the world to be. Brexit happens to be an awful man. And I spent weeks saying I was not going to win. And they kind of, why did he win? He told us he wasn't going to win. I must confess I'm a massive Bruce Springsteen fan. And I went and dug out, there's a song by Springsteen, he wrote it in the 90s called Youngstown. And it's about one of the places that swung behind Trump. And it's basically the story of a proud industrial town where the industry, the steel making, has disappeared completely and nothing replaced it. And the people just have this sort of general vague sense of resentment and anger, being screwed over, they're not quite sure by who or how. And Trump channeled that. He said it on his hats, we'll make America great again. He became a kind of vehicle for that kind of sort of incoherent rage that I think a lot of people had underestimated the power of. And it was very, very similar, in fact, to what Brexit was about. And the slogan was take back control. It was the same thing. You've lost control of your lives for 30 years, take it back. How is that going to happen? Don't know, don't care much of a scandal on it anyway. What's the worst that can happen?
And to what extent do you think that PR is playing rather than policy? When one looks at some of these policies, not policies, I can write those about nonsense. But PR is really quite a powerful tool for across the government and here. Has that changed or has it always been a camera PR has that been a big feature?
I don't think it's anything new, frankly. I think all of us flatter ourselves that we vote. We think very carefully about all the detailed options and then arrive at a choice. But actually, the evidence suggests, and I think most of us have been thought honestly about, so we admit it. Most of us don't do that. Most of what happens in political choice is about something much deeper than the detailed policy. And PR is part of that because it's about activating emotional attachments. It's about finding ways of switching people onto a particular way of thinking of a particular set of values. So take back control, that was a slogan. It was an empty slogan. There was literally nothing behind it. But it spoke to something deep in a lot of people. And I think when people say that's PR, yeah, but on the other hand, it's the same on the liberal side as well. We have our value attachment. When Gordon goes out at Glastonbury and we all cheer, we're not cheering a detailed manifesto, we're cheering a vision and a symbol that is, again, an ideal. It's expressing a certain thing we want to see in the world. And that's what most of politics tends to be about. And I think the fact that it gets reduced to PR, often, that's a tough job to do, to activate people's emotional attachments like that. And that's kind of what politics has to be about. Because no one has time to read a bloody manifesto. It's a professor has time to read a bloody manifesto. So you've got to find another way to engage people in the process. And what we often call PR in a kind of dismissive way is really key to it.
I'm going for time. Oh gosh,
I'm a professor, so I talk. Right?
That's okay. Well, can I just ask you to pause? Firstly, we need to thank Rob in the way that we've been thanking all our other speakers. Thank you very much. Hello, hi. Welcome to DidsburyFM. I wonder if you could introduce yourself. What do you do and how do you find yourself doing?
I'm Heidi. I'm managing editor at BBC Radio 5 Live at BBC City and Salford. I've worked at BBC for getting up to about 18 years. I've done pretty much everything within radio journalism since it's a very entry-level role. And when I was in London, all I wanted to do was move back home. I had from Manchester. I went to university in Salford. All I ever wanted to do was live in Manchester when I started to stone roses. When I was a little girl in Lancashire, I just always wanted to live in Manchester. But after I graduated from university, I went there with a job to media, so I went to move down south. So then the BBC said they were building Salford. I couldn't have been more excited.
You promoted.
Yeah, it certainly was. I was running around in London going, it's great. You all stay here because I want the job.
Yeah. And I think you're rather diverse too as well.
I've recently been made the chair of the Diversity Action Group at BBC.
And what does that actually mean?
It's very much it's about promoting diversity within the BBC. So it's about representing the staff at the BBC, but also making sure we work with staff to make sure that the BBC's content is represented in the audience. About a few months ago, we had big kind of speakers events at BBC, bringing people in to people like Lindsay, Sarah,
These were our last speakers, so don't miss that one.
quite emotional because if you come today, you've got to see him. It's such an event to speak a local Manchester poet.
Yeah.
So it's about doing events like that, but it's also about recently been having conversations about how can we bring people into the BBC who don't feel an organisation like the BBC is for them. We do have issues, even details like how do we set out our application forms, how do we send the CV in. The children who work with probably look at the BBC as a big institution that doesn't necessarily represent them, so how do we make it more representative of people have to pay the less experience for people to work with.
Yeah, because it's still an issue, isn't it? That actually, the BBC have tried to do that, because then they put on content that's 1 o'clock in the morning and everything else. Or they allow short periods of time when they're talking about ethnic diversity, for example, better short periods of time and sweet. Because is it quite hard for you to measure it? Particularly if I buy, you can't tell. Well,
Yeah, it's interesting actually. I just launched a diversity monitoring project at 5 Live, where we literally asked every guest that was on on male, female, what's your ethnicity, what age are you, so that we could monitor that. The whole of the TV industry has recently just signed up to Project Diamond, only ITV, BBC, but it is only television, and they are now having to monitor every person that you see on screen. So all on-air portrayal is being recorded, and every TV company has to report back on that.
But what about the radio? Because I think I do this.
Really?
Yeah. And how do you monitor that? It's quite popular. Really see the game of the news program where I listen to it.
Yeah.
How has that evolved with time? You've got sports on there, you've got quite detailed news.
Yeah, so 5 if people don't listen, it's a news and sports station. During the day, it has the news programmes, and in the evening, it has sports programmes, and then at the weekend, we do a lot of live sport. My background is on news journalist, so I produce most of the news programmes at 5 Live.
So just pause there, and for our younger people, sorry to interrupt. Did you do journalism at university, or how did you end up doing?
I did media, I did a degree at TV and radio, BA on TV and radio. It was back before there were loads of media courses, and I literally got every perspective from every further education institution in the Great Manchester area. And where can I go? It's in Manchester. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I just wanted to be in Manchester. So I looked for all the most suited things. So it wasn't necessarily the best way to choose a course. There might have been more variety, if I had a broader variety, but I wanted to be here, and that was the one that best suited me at the time. But it's funny because I hear a lot of my colleagues say, "Oh yes, well, where's your postgraduate journalism to students who are coming in?" And I say, I don't have a postgraduate journalism. I think there's an assumption that you do need that, and actually it's quite a lot of this way.
So that's actually really about apprenticeships.
No, I've just got yeah, they do a bit. I think sometimes there's a sort of structured route, and then there's other routes as well as you can kind of do your own way.
And so as far as I'm embracing that, you start with that, and then work my way up, or somebody who has any confidence in just that.
Yeah, we do take a lot of apprentices, and that's something that we've set out to do. There's a couple of a lot of our phone answers are university students that come through. I was just writing, I've nominated our new phone answer for a Unsung Hero Awards. Nobody ever thinks about people that are actually answering phones and the other side, the flip side of the phone in. And the actual breakfast show got said to me, she's the first person at the BBC who predicted the Leave vote would win the referendum. She was the one on the phone to everyone that was ringing in our programmes. So the day before the referendum, we had 4,000 people contacted Live, desperate to get on their news. And our phone answerers were all saying, this is not going the way that everyone else is saying it's going.
You needed to talk to Rob.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It's interesting, and I think kind of need to get out of that echo chamber of what everybody around is saying, and just listen more to what did you call them? The left behind? It's such a great
Understanding.
And so again, the phone answer.
No.
The phone answer is some of them have come through university, some of them don't have any degrees, and then that's kind of you can find them fitting in the door, and then some of theirs are now put to them and two or three of them
All right. And then Heidi, you've got 2 children. Mm-hmm. How old are they?
Connor is 6 and Margaret is 2.
And how is that gone back?
Yes, good.
I think you're 4 days a week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I had when I had my son, I worked 3 days a week on a part-time contract. And then when I was doing the job, and I was producing our Chinese program, and when I decided to go and work in management, now in a station rather than working on an individual chair.
Oh, right.
It's more of a kind of 9 to 5 role. So, but I needed to be in the office more rather than doing shift work. And I was basically told you can have a job, but you're going to have to be at least 4 days a week. So sit down with him and talk about that. And he's just decided he would actually like to work a little less if he could. So he spoke to his boss, and we kind of worked out that I would work 4 days a week, he would work 4 days a week. So the kids still have one of at home 2 days a week, and then 3 days a week get that.
Oh, well, so actually that's been an important thing, having partners who are receptive to their part in the children. Yeah, and like, yeah, it's traditional model that we all have. So that's actually quite good. I mean,
Yeah, so that's
yeah. So what's next in terms of what do you want to do? Where do you want to take life? Maybe we'll edit this out. If it's a controversial.
Yeah. I was going to start asking me about all the bigs and diversity.
Oh yes, sorry.
How to get into
that was
mode.
No, that was interrogative. Yeah.
I suppose the most interesting thing I'm working on at the moment is a new podcast strategy for Radio 5 Live. I don't know if anybody listens to podcasts as well as this.
Oh, as well as DidsburyFM podcasts, of course.
So that's something that we're working on at the moment. I'm working on just working on a new podcast about Brexit negotiations. It sounds really dry, but it's actually quite funny with the two quite young lads that present it. And how can you listen to the crime? Probably to watch the real crime, true crime story podcast. All on that website. So kind of looking at, as well as traditional live radio, how people are consuming radio is changing. And sometimes people want to go that little bit deeper and listen to one particular genre that they're interested in more, or they actually want to kind of listen on the commute to work, or listen at home in the evening, and they might listen to something during the day. They want to podcasts and use for that, and so it's a big change in people's behaviour when they listen.
And do you track that? How do you track people's behaviour and what they listen to most? Do you track that?
Yeah, so for the live radio, it's such an old-fashioned system. There's a company called Radar who go out and they give people diaries, and you have to fill in a diary, of what you've been listening to. It's not like TV bulletins where they
that's what I'm thinking.
So the radio is really old-fashioned technique for relying on diaries, but podcasts, because it is a digital medium, you get digital download numbers for that, so that is slightly more reliable. 6 million divided by. So you're
It's amazing.
They went out, put a cross in the ballot, and did the record check. And I think that action-reaction thing will have a lasting effect on them. They'll be more willing to go out and vote again, even if they don't necessarily still feel quite as super excited about Corbyn and everything he represents going forward. They will know, much as their grandparents know, that if you want to change the record, you've got to really mobilise and vote. They've seen it happen. So I think that element will be.
Thank you. It's a good question. Do you have any other questions for Heidi? Oh, we've got two. Okay. The lady in the back first.
With the rise of fake news, that is, what's hardline? That's going to be fake news, that is. It's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. There is a rise in fake news. I just think Donald Trump has just started using that as a phrase around things he's kind of not keen about. I think social media is the problem in that sense, to be honest, because things get shared in a way that didn't used to before, and it's almost like kind of tiny whispers and myths are created. But I think for every news outlet, it's really important to use kind of journalistic values to ask questions of everybody and be as rigorous with every bit of data, every bit of research, and also if you invite Rob on radio, make sure you know who Rob is and what his background is and what his credentials are.
organisations can really do that and see through it and keep questioning. I think people need to be more questioning. People need to be more questioning what they're seeing through their social media feeds.
My point of view, to listen to the Bible, and I have a sense of frustration in the last say months or probably about 6 or 8 months is that the some of the inside saving IRA actually very important. If you have been saying it over years, that much really not to say, you know, just come out with it, which is nonsense. And but
Bring in that.
I'm agreeing with that. Yeah. But that sort of thing, that there's a mix that argument perpetuated through media, through news, how I would say, through radios. And also the market news, for our journey that's gone now, they've got 1% of the vote now. So how can they got such a large media? Every time you ask them, you ask them. You don't ask the Greens, you don't ask any other minority. You could still be big.
Well, probably there is a really, and work with things around it, so you
Yes.
probably understand a little bit about our editorial policy around how we represent each party. That would be very useful.
We probably need the Director General to answer that question.
No, there was a really rigorous thing. I think it's quite an important point now about why did we choose, if we go back on politicians, why did we choose those parties?
Well, I don't know, I mean, I'm not involved in the process by which it's decided, but in the run-up to the 2015 election campaign, one of the things I was running a sort of poll data blog, and they used our data to decide which parties would be reported on, which proportions of, that was one of the sources they used. They run very rigorous exercises to try and figure out which parties are sufficiently strong to count as a major party, and in 2015 and prior to the 2017 election, UKIP qualified because of their prior support in the Parliament election. So they were. Well, I can't really speak for what they're doing now. I don't know what the decision-making process is at this point, but that was the reason why UKIP could get a lot of exposure in 2015. I can speak to that because I was involved in the process to some extent, and my analysis was. And I think that everyone in the BBC, and this was seen a lot in the EU referendum campaign as well, both sides were saying that they were getting underrepresented, or the arguments from the other side that they didn't like weren't getting sufficiently critically addressed. It's a constant tug of war for the BBC. And what I see on my social media feed, because I follow people from every political persuasion because of the research I do, is everybody thinks the BBC is doing that. And that suggests to me that the BBC are probably getting it more or less right much of the time. I'm not saying they're perfect, I wouldn't claim that they're human, but I think that they try very, very hard to try and get this right. And I think that it's important to remember that getting it right is very difficult.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, also they said about getting it all wrong. When proving to their cause that election, what experts are writing in the media and saying that the campaign period never makes a wide bit of difference. And the results are easy to say what they were. Do you think this campaign made a difference, or was it about people they got into hiding while going to be called without banging on doors?
I have to admit, question.
I'd say the people phoning in might have been more useful in terms of showing what was to come, because maybe you once again got a heads up. There were lots of people phoning up and saying, I want to hear more about Jeremy Corbyn's rally. I mean, this has never happened before, so long as we have evidence. I mean, Theresa May went into that campaign with something like a 20-point polling. No one has ever lost 15 points in the polls in a campaign before, nor has anyone gained 10 points plus in the polls before, like Labour did. So I'm one of those experts who said, yeah, this is going to win a big majority because campaigns don't make that big a difference, because they never have before. And it's something that a lot of PhD students are going to make their names right. PhD thesis is about what happened in that 6 weeks and how it was different to what happened before, because it was unprecedented.
I think the use of the media was really important in this campaign, and actually when Theresa May thought she was being really strong and really stable and to stand up and answer questions, we were getting calls from people saying, why is she not fronting up? Why is she not coming on the programme? Jeremy Vine had
steam coming out of his ears. This is the first Prime Minister that hasn't appeared on Radio 2 in an election campaign. She's the only one who hasn't done that, and the audience and people and voters recognise that. So I think the way she played the media, she thought she was being smart. She didn't think she would front it up because she had all the support, so why risk losing it? And I think that totally backfired for her.
We had a question there, and I know it definitely going on the TV time. Rachel.
I would say that's about because a lot of the lines have been placed similar over the years, but it seems that they're becoming less and less reliable. So a model of how polling change or what's happened to them.
Well, I know a lot of people in the polling industry, and I wouldn't want to do their job at the moment because 2 years ago they underestimated the Conservatives by 5% and got an absolute quality for it. Excuse my language. And so they changed. All of them worked really hard to try and change their methods and figure out what they got wrong. And then the changes that they made led to them underestimating Labour by 5%. So it was almost like you were sort of steering the Titanic and you steered it one way to avoid the iceberg and then you end up heading straight to another iceberg. Because the thing is, they don't know if the change has worked or not until the election happens. So the head guy at ICM told me that if they had used the method they used in 2015 that was wrong, they would have got this election right. But they changed the method because it was wrong in 2015 and then they were wrong again. But in answer to your broader question, the problem is we've got a choice between maps that are out of date and off by 5 or 6 points, or no map at all. And if you have no opinion polls, some countries do this, or you don't get no information, you'll get people from all the political parties saying, oh, well, I've done this private poll and it shows that we're 10 points ahead. And there's no clarity to it, you can't criticise it, you can't look at how they gather the data. So you don't end up with you end up with a less informed conversation than you would with polling. But I think hopefully one of the things we can draw from this is do treat the polls with some scepticism because they can be wrong.
I think we've really got one, but there's one person who's best be a quick one. Lady at the back.
I would just like to say that I think both of your stories have been all this politics has happened in the last few years. Really generated so much
I think the fact that we've seen young people mobilised is really interesting and started talking about politics a lot more and getting engaged in voting and seeing that the youth vote does suggest that I don't know whether they'll want to do it as a job, but hopefully the fact that they're more talking about it, more engaged with it. I think I'd like to think of people who always sort of talked about politics and cared about issues, but whether they've actually gone out and voted on it.
Just before we finish, 2 last questions. One, what do you do for downtime? Headspace.
Box sets. Loads of telling box sets.
Oh, right. We recommend some. But then we didn't
I just finished Fortitude.
And you go?
I did box sets with my wife, and I also like to play video games.
Oh.
Yeah. I have an enormous video game laptop, which I bought rather than a console because it was out to share the TV.
Well, one of our speakers is a gaming and education expert, so she can tell us whether that's good or not.
Not, my wife says not.
Brilliant. So thank you very much.